Hampshire outdoors and survival. I'm out in the woods today, and it's a new woods. Two very good friends of mine, they've allowed me to use the copse on their farmland. Thank you guys, it's absolutely wonderful. And the great thing for the channel is we're going to build a bushcraft camp here, something that fits in with the environment. My main role today is I'm just out in the woods and I'm getting a feel for the place, working out where the wildlife is. I'm pretty sure I've got foxes and badgers here. I know there are deer here, so that's going to make it nice for later videos if I can get some footage. But again, I won't disturb these animals. My attitude is I'll work with nature rather than against it. It's a beautiful woods. It's not very big. It's a copse really, but it's full of birch. It's full of oak. I've got ash. I've got hazel. Everything I could ever want for an area for doing this sort of thing. There's a lot of holly. We've got brambles, blackberries, yummy, yummy, yummy. We've got gorse, yum, 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 yum. So I'll do some identification videos later on. I might even do some cooking in the field videos. But hey, welcome to my channel. Welcome to my video. I know the sound quality isn't brilliant. If anybody out there knows of a good mic setup that will work with a Ulefone Armor 14 Android phone, hey, hit me up in the comments and let me know, because so far I've bought two. One was absolute rubbish, wouldn't work at all, and the other one, well, you heard that in the previous video, it just did nothing but feedback. So hey, I'm chasing around trying to find these things. So anyhow, once again, big thanks to the guys that let me use this copse. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much. And let's get on with the video. The video today, we're going to make a fire using birch and ferrocerium rod. And we're also going to demonstrate and use the squirrel cooker to cook my dinner and a nice cup of coffee. Hopefully the video won't be too long this time. I'll try and make it a bit shorter. And I've been asked to do more talking in it. So I'll try. It's all a learning curve. So guys, welcome to my video. I'm outside. I'm loving it. Please enjoy the video. Thanks guys, have fun. Right guys, we're going to prepare a fire. Now, this is the area I'm going to use. So obviously one of the things we've got to do is we've got to prepare it first. And to do this, I want to go down through the peat. Stay back. I want to go down through any peat that's there and get to just soil. Now most of the soil around here is fairly light and it's very sandy. So if I can get down to that and make sure there's no roots or anything that are protruding through from this stump that are going to catch fire. I'm also being a little bit cautious as I go through looking for wildlife. If I find an area where there's things like stag beetle larvae and that, obviously I don't want to make a fire. I mean, they're poor little souls. They spend 7 years becoming a stag beetle. So that's the last thing I want to do is disturb them or cook them. They don't taste particularly nice. So I have a clear all the debris in the area that I'm going to make the fire. And again, look what this does. This makes sure the fire doesn't spread, doesn't cause a risk to the environment. This is all part of it, is to be responsible in your actions. So, tools. When you're finished with your tools, put them somewhere you can find them. Have one place where you put all your tools. That way you don't lose anything. Anyhow, as you see, I've cleared the soil here. I'm now going to pack the soil down. And what I'm doing, I'm creating a firm base that's sealed. By packing it down, you're actually stopping any air pockets in that ground that could cause an issue with your fire. There we go. That's that packed down. Right, we'll get on to processing some wood. Have fun. Right guys, we're going to get into processing of wood. Obviously you're using an axe. This is a sharp implement. You know, this was an axe given to me by my youngest son Dan. Thanks, Dan. I use it all the time. It's a great tool. So you're processing wood, firm base. You want something that's going to support the wood. You also want to be cutting. If you're cutting with something, you want to be cutting in such a manner that if you miss the item, your axe goes into something solid, doesn't swing down and hit you in the leg. So again, what I do is find a nice perch for my logs. My hands are out of the way because I don't need them to be in the way. And I swing at the wood. The axe goes in and you can split the wood out. Now this is very punky wood, I will admit. So not necessarily the best, but for what I'm doing today, it will work. You can, if you have a long piece, support your piece of wood like that. You've got your hand and your handle of your axe on your piece of wood. Down like that, right? So there's no way anything's going to miss, it's all under control. Twist the wood, not the axe, to split the wood. Again, small piece, don't really want to be holding that. And you will miss, I'll miss. It's one of those things, don't be frustrated by it. You know, it happens, nobody's perfect. We've got a piece of wood here, it's got a knot in it. Now, knots are difficult because it's a twist in the fibre of the wood. Doesn't always want to split, but because this is old, it's dry, it's not going to be too much of a difficulty for me. But there you go. You see, not there. The wood doesn't want to split, the fibres don't want to split. A little bit of persistence. There you go. That's processing wood. Works for any size, any axe. Just remember, make sure that the axe is going to stop there. It's not going to swing into you. You get one of these in your leg, you're in a lot of trouble. Guys, have fun. Right, guys. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the silver birch, we're going to process this, and we're going to make ourselves some fire. I've got my tinder laid out. I go from small, dry birch twigs, and I work up in sizes. What you want to do is build a base to initially start your fire on. It's going to lift the tinder and the flame off the ground, and it's going to allow oxygen to get underneath there. So what we're going to do, we will strip this silver birch off, which is quite easy to do. I'll take my bushcraft knife. Now, working away from myself, with the wood supported, all I do is I gently work a strip down the wood. All I'm doing is cutting the top couple of layers of bark. By working away from myself means if I slip, I don't stab myself. Punky. Peel the bark back. I peel the bark off. Now, silver birch is full of natural oils. It is a survivor's tree. Northern Hemisphere, especially, throughout ancient times, this tree has been used for everything from paper to cloth. It's made fuel for vehicles during the Second World War. It's made glues. It's made alcohol. It's made shelter. It's done many things for us. It's a tree that should truly be respected. It's one of the first trees to grow in tundra, and it has many survival uses. So if you've got silver birch, consider yourself lucky and harvest it. This is from a fallen silver birch. You can see it's all punky, it's dead. I wouldn't want to take it from a live tree. Might damage something I may want for a later resource. But as you see, the bark is quite easy to peel away. Because I'm doing a demo today, I'm going to peel off quite a bit of bark because I definitely want the fire to go. Okay. That's our silver birch peelings. So our next job is to build the base for our fire. Now, anything can be the base, anything that's going to get the wood off that damp ground. So I'll take some of the pieces of timber that I split earlier on. Got two nice long pieces there. Nice piece there. I hope you can all see that. I hope it's all in shot. And that's what I'm going to build my fire upon. So I'll build the base up there. The air can be drawn in underneath these logs, and it will create fire. It will burn well. Right, guys. It's good. Right, guys. I hope you can all see this clearly. It's not going to be a one-shot wonder, this, because we're going to light a fire. So, okay, now, we take our silver birch, and as you may be able to see over here, I've also piled up loads of strips of silver birch because it's so full of oil. It will light a fire really easily and it will get your fire going. So at the end of the day, if you've got plenty of silver birch off dead trees, use it. You know, use everything to your advantage. Make life easy, not hard. So what we do, it's going to be hard for me to show you this way around because of where I've got the camera, but we'll basically scrape the bark, and you're using the edge of the knife to just scrape back. And as you scrape back, it peels up fine layers of dust and scrapes off the bark. Now you want to work down through the bark and build yourself a reasonable stack of scrapings. And again, it's not the art of who can do it with the least. It's because you're trying to make a fire. Somebody said to me, "Oh, I can do it with less than you." Well, you can, wonderful, but I guarantee my fire's going to light. And that's the difference, is are you guaranteeing your fire can light, reaching out for the fingers, or are you showing off? It's fine showing off. We've all been known to do it. We all have a go occasionally. So that's my little embers. I could make a bigger pile if I wanted to, but we're going to see if we can go with that. This ferrocerium rod hasn't been used in a while. This is the one on my knife, my small one. There we go, lovely. So we will start to layer that up with bits of birch bark. And as you see, it takes readily, burns quite happily. And once it's ignited, it's away. It does create a little bit of a smoky fire. And now we can place our twigs on that. Nice fine birch twigs on there. On top of that, place some slightly larger twigs. Don't smother your fire, don't be in a hurry to build it. Watch it. Let it start to progress. If you need to and you want to give it a little bit of help and encouragement, there's nothing to stop you putting a bit more birch bark on. Now we've had a very damp night. It has rained most of the night, so ground here is very damp and a lot of the wood's damp. But we're going to have ourselves a fire. Now, you see, I'm not stacking in any particular order. Fire is chaos, okay? As long as it's getting air to it, and it can expand and it can grow, you can build fire. Place some of my other pieces of wood around the outside. That allows them to dry out with a little bit of heat. Okay, my friends, fire from birch, quite simple. Try the technique for yourself, practice it, you'll be amazed what you can do. Look at that, Again, something our ancestors have been doing since way, way, way back before things were recorded. Right, guys, so we're going to use the Swedish dirty tin, I should say. Oh, I stumble over my words, I'm chronic, I do apologise. So I'm going to use Swedish cook set, military cook set. For those of you starting out, you can find them on Amazon, you can find them on all the other websites, and you can find them in military shops and army surplus shops. They are a perfect budget item to start with. They're sturdy, they're reliable, they're extremely strong. You can use a Tangier cooker on them, or Trangier cooker on them, or you can use them as I am today, as a billy can over the fire using the squirrel cooker. It's a great bit of kit. I'd recommend it to anybody quite happily. So squirrel cooker, showed you this on my video or a couple of videos back. I make these myself. They're a simple piece of equipment. They've been used for many hundreds of years by people that are travelling, usually by a solo traveller or a couple of people, because it's a small cook system for a small fire. It's very easy. It's a spike. The spike's driven into the ground, like so, and then it allows you to place a hook over the fire, or it allows you to put a fork over the fire. Now, the fork, you can hang meat on the fork, whether it be small game, a rabbit, whether it be jerky or something like that you've already prepared. You can also put vegetables on there, you can put fruit on there, you can warm pretty much anything that you put those tines into and go to the fire. You can rotate it, you can do both sides. You can use it as a fork, just for toasting things over the fire, and you can use it as a carrying handle. It's a good all-in-one. Our predecessors really sort of had these ideas sorted out. So the fire's going nicely now. We'll spread it out slightly so we get a reasonable flame on it, and we're gonna make me my dinner, and we're gonna make a cup of coffee. So just to demonstrate how simple this thing is. So anyhow, there's our dirty can. You have a cup or an eating implement there. Me personally, I try not to eat out of things like this. I try and eat out of the bag or whatever I can, other than getting this filthy dirty. It's not something I really want to do. Bit of water. Half fill the can. And today, my dinner is going to consist of beef pasta and tomato from a military ration pack, NATO edition. So we place that into the can, as you see, place it into the can, and what we do, try and get your pack below the top of your can, because you have flames licking up around the can, and the last thing you want at the end of the day is to burn the top of the pack. Place it on our hook. Place it on the squirrel cooker and position it over the fire. Now, you can put the lid on that if you wanted, and it will boil up quicker. I've chosen not to, purely and simply because I like to see what it's doing, I like to see the status out, and I like to see how it's boiling. Second to that, we're going to prepare for our coffee. Instant coffee, instant white with 2 sugars, as I'm always saying, because that's what I like. Simple as that. And keep it simple, keep it sweet. We're going to do one in a little while, another video, and I'm going to show you how to make some survivor coffee. There's basically how to use your coffee granules, how to do it in the woods without a percolator, without all the fancy gear, just using a can. It's quite simple, and it's quite an interesting and fun technique to do. Remember, all these skills are learned. Anybody can do this. It doesn't take some sort of special training or anything like that. So it's practice and effort. Watch a video like mine, see the basic technique, learn it from there. It's quite simple. Move those tines just a little bit away from my head. In actual fact, yeah, I know. quite a distance away from, so don't panic. Yeah, so plastic mug. I can already hear some of you hissing and booing. Oh, plastic mug. Oh, when I was in, I used an Osprey. I had a metal mug, and metal mugs are great. Don't get me wrong. They're light. They're efficient. You can use it to boil your dinner in. You can use it to make your brewing. You can cook on the embers. I've burnt my lips too many times to carry on with a metal mug. I do have one, and I do use it on some trips if I'm travelling extremely light. However, something like this, where I'm only parked a mile and a half away, I'm able to walk in, carry all my kit, it's not too big a deal. So that's what I've done. Again, the bonus of a plastic mug is it's going to hold heat better than a metal mug. It's also not going to burn your fingers when you pick it up. They're cheap. Again, you can get them from any Army surplus shop. They're a standard issue thing, and old tip is cut the handle off. Okay, simple as. Oh, you have to excuse me stretching out. My hip is giving me today. As some of you are aware, I am suffering with a bit of a problem with my hip. We'll get it done. We'll get it sorted. Won't let it slow me down. So we're going to sit, let this boil up, and then we'll have some scoff. Guys, hope you're enjoying the video. Okay. All right, guys. I'm speaking a bit louder because the camera's a little bit further away, and obviously I'm trying to get the sound out there for you. Yeah, squirrel cooker. It's a brilliant bit of kit. I really would recommend it to anybody that's looking for even back garden, campfire cooking. It's the way to go. Incidentally, that's how I really started off as a kid. My dad taking me out in the back garden. He wanted me to be sensible because I lived in a rural environment. So he took me and my brothers and he taught us how to make a fire, how to make a fire safely, what the risks were, what to look for. We camped out overnight in the garden. It was an adventure. It was great. I felt like little Davy Crockett. We then spent the night in the tent in the garden on our own. Again, we had 2 or 3 large dogs and a rather large dad that would look after us, so we weren't too worried. I think he stayed up all night just keeping an eye out the window, make sure we were okay. Yeah, he's gone now, unfortunately, and yeah, I miss him. So I look forward to teaching this to my grandchildren, and Dad, wherever you are, I'm still doing it. Yeah, it's squirrel cookers. What can we say? It's a brilliant bit of kit. It's simple. So I've got it on there. It's been boiling away for a few minutes now. My dinner's cooked. The water's boiled. I'm quite happy that the steak's in, and it is a rolling boil. You see a little bit every now and again splashing off. Again, it's just such a simple piece of kit. If I want to increase the boil, all I've got to do is swing it further into the flames. Right, and you'll see that is boiling a good. Yeah. If I want to slow the boil down, all I need to do is swing it away from the fire, and it comes down to a simmer. It's simple. It's easy. You know, if I need to take it off the heat altogether, I can swing it away. One tip I will give you, and it's a little bit difficult where I am today because of position, wind, and trying to stop smoke blowing into the camera and everything else. I would normally always position this right on the upwind side so that it's carrying the heat away from it. Obviously it's metal, and what you don't want to do is burn your hands. So here we go. I've cooked my dinner. I'll put that back on, just let that boil for a second or two, straight back up. It's simplicity in itself. The steak here can be driven into the ground further, or it can be pulled up. So if I needed to, I could raise it up. And another method for getting away from the heat is simply that. You can draw the steak back towards the shaft, and yeah, it'll do what you want. I make mine out of solid steel. I have put a Dutch oven on it. I wouldn't recommend it. Obviously, there's a lot of weight in a Dutch oven. But for doing things like a billy can, doing a kettle, yes, it's definitely the way to go. I reckon that quite happily hold on that a good 5-6 pints of water in a container and boil it up quite merrily. So anyhow, enough rabbiting. onto dinner. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this off the fire. I'm going to pour out a cup of coffee. Hopefully you can all see the cup once I move the can. Right, so again, that's now off the fire. I can place that pretty much anywhere I want. Now, one of the issues that people come up with these is they say, it's all hot. How do I pour it? Well, the base, or the lid, is actually designed to take the pot in. Unfortunately, mine's had a little bit of damage over the years, so it's not quite as efficient. But you can then, hope you can all see that, use that to assist the pour. Simple as that. I'm not burning my hands. I'm not having any issues. What I can do, put that down, just take my dinner out, put that there, let that calm down a little bit. I'm going to put that back on near the fire like that, so that can retain. I know, in fact, I won't. It's in the way the camera. I'll place that down over there. Right, and your squirrel cooker shaft, if you needed to break camp in a hurry, you need to pull it out. Obviously, that's going to be hot. You can place that in there, pull that shaft out, or the spike out, using the hook on the end of that. Simple things. It's what works for you, what works, wherever you go. I'm not saying this is the answer for everybody. It's what works for me. Going to get on to another one at the moment that's just been bugging me a little bit lately. Ration packs. I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way. Not at all. But I've seen a couple of people giving advice, and the advice is okay for the experienced. However, they're also failing to admit that there is a reason, and what they're suggesting is you take your ration pack, hold it long ways, and open it that way, and it makes a bowl. And it does. Don't get me wrong, it makes a very efficient bowl. It's easier to get to the food, I'll admit that. That's fine if you're in the perfect environment. What I have found, my own experience, is that, because I've done it myself, if you open it that way, or that way, and you drop it, it's spilled. It's a shallow bowl. It's gone absolutely everywhere. One of the reasons these packs are designed this way is so they can be torn open from the top. There's a hot meal. You can tear it open from the top and open it. You can get down to the meal. A lot of these now have expanding bottoms. You can stand it up, let it cool down, let it get to where you want it to. The other thing is, if you're going to be on the move, you're moving around camp, you're going to go up on stag, you've just done your scoff and you're going to take it up, I don't know, into a guard tower, or you're going to take it off to another location, or you're going to walk away from the fire and let somebody else use the fire, and you're going to go over to your chair and sit down. You can fold the top over 2 or 3 times and carry it like that. Okay? Now, if I drop that, I've lost it. If I'm carrying it as a bowl, it's gone absolutely everywhere. That's the reason they're designed that way. So I'm not saying the other guys that are showing you their method are wrong. No, as a bowl, it's a great method. Just, you can lose it very easily. And I am somebody that's dropped a couple of dinners in my time, and as you can tell, I'm not somebody that likes to lose his food. So anyhow, military ration packs. Steaming hot, full of calories. It's designed for a soldier in the field on an operation or training or combat mission. It's designed to give him all the energy and all the fuel that his body needs in the easiest manner. Okay, just easily digested. That's the idea of it. It's your body can absorb everything out of that it needs. It's full of vitamins, it's full of minerals, it's full of calories. Okay, not something you want to eat every single day, 3 meals a day. However, if you're out hiking, climbing, exploring, this is a kit to have. It's going to keep you fueled. And again, it's not that expensive. It is quite affordable. You can pick it up at any army
army surplus store, or you can pick it up online. It's out there. Go grab yourself and try it. There's lots of different menus. This beef and pasta, bit warm. I can recommend that. Absolutely delicious. It's something I enjoy. A lot of my mates used to get upset because I like corned beef hash, and apparently there's not many people like the corned beef hash. It's a bit of a desired taste, I suppose. Do all day breakfast. They even do a vegetarian menu. Okay, so for those guys of you that are vegetarian, want something to stick in your van, stick in your kit, take away, they do a vegetarian menu. They even do a halal menu. No reason why not to try it then, is there? So anyhow, this is Mick. I'm out here. I'm having my dinner. I've got my coffee. All is good with me. It's a stunning day. Okay, I'm relaxing. The stress of the week gone away. So guys, once again, as I always say, thank you. I really appreciate everything. You know, you guys that have watched my previous videos and stuck with me, thanks so much. Hopefully this is getting better and better. Hopefully you're liking it more. Hopefully we're making improvements. It's moving on. Get out there, enjoy the countryside. I accept the fact I've got permission here. I'm a lucky man, but speak to people, engage with people. You know, go to a campsite if need be. There's plenty of wild camping campsites out there. But get yourself out in the countryside, even if it's for a walk. It's a walk with a dog, a walk with the missus, a walk with the kids. Get yourselves out there, explore it, just enjoy being outside. Don't have to have a fire. You can take a little gas cooker with you, do it on a gas cooker. It's a safe way to do it, and you'll get away with it in most environments. So again, get out there, have fun, enjoy. Hope you're all good. Peace and love to you all. Those guys that have liked and subscribed so far, thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. And again, to the guys that are letting me use this woods, thank you so very much. You don't know what it means to me. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you again on another video. That's Mick, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival.
Yeah, Mike here, Hampshire Outdoors and Survival. Packing up, just getting ready to leave the woods, just getting ready to hide where I've been. Moving quietly. Discovered. Must be a Smurf woods. Well, I don't know what to make of that. I will say, his name's Murph. Murph the Smurf. He just appeared. He's got one leg and half his face is missing. I think he's a veteran from the Smurf Wars. But it means there's wildlife here. Anywhere you have Smurfs, you'll find wildlife. Keep smiling. Hampshire Outdoors Survival. Mick out.